Colby Covington says it's a legacy fight for him this weekend against Joaquin Buckley. He says he wants to remind everyone that he is an elite welterweight and deserves to be in the title conversation.
It makes sense, because the company needed a main event to fill, and they needed a guy to save the show. So who better to call than the ultimate company man, Colby Chaos Covington. Well, the thought process was, first get healthy. I broke my foot in the first 30 seconds of the fight in 3 different places, so I had to get healthy. It was a long, strenuous rehab process to get the foot healthy, and then once I was healthy in the end of summer, I was ready to fight, in fall or winter. I let the UFC know that. I actually called to fight Shavkat originally, and, they said, hey, we're going to do the Ian Gary fight, but we have a main event in Tampa for you. So what better way to defend home turf in my state of Florida than me to come out here and main event this show? Yeah, it was a tough position. Everybody was, making up all these accusations and just saying all these lies about me, and they have no idea. They'd never been locked in a cage and had an injury and had to fight through a championship title fight for 25 minutes, So there was a lot of adversity that I had to face, and, I overcame it, and, I'm proud with what I've been able to accomplish in that career, but I know I have a lot more, and I want to leave a great legacy. So Saturday's a legacy fight for me to show the fans, show the company who Colby Chaos Covington is. To be honest, I don't know anything about him. I've been at the top of the division for, almost a decade straight, so I haven't paid attention to this kid. I didn't even know he was in the rankings but when the UFC called me, so, he's irrelevant, he's a nobody, and Saturday night I'm going to expose him. Everybody can hype up these kids. There's always going to be some hype jobs and this and that, but, Saturday night they're going to find out the truth and who the king of this division is.
Daniel Cormier gives his take on Ilia Topuria, saying he wants to move up to lightweight and fight Charles Oliveira. DC thinks that Ilia is experiencing some mental fatigue. He went on to say when you beat the best guys, especially the 2 guys that ruled the division for so long, there can be a little bit of fatigue in there. It's not like muscle fatigue, it's mental fatigue. You have to be so up to do what he did to Max Holloway and to do what he did to Volkanovski. I don't care what people tell you. The only ones that believe he would do what he did was Ilia Topuria and his team. You can't think that was going to happen just being on the outside. He went out and he knocked out Max Holloway. That doesn't happen. You don't knock out Max Holloway. He knocked out Volkanovski. You don't do those things back to back. Now he went from fighting 2 established veteran stars, people that sell pay-per-view, the BMF champion, to now he's got to fight a guy who's on that upswing, a guy that's on the rise, a guy that truly is who I was only a couple of fights ago. Jamahal Hill dropped a 40-minute long video to his YouTube channel going into detail about the recent physical altercation he had with his brother, which led him to get charged with misdemeanor aggravated violence. Go check out the full video on Jamal's channel.
I'm steady telling him, bro, don't swing. All I'm saying is, and he tried to hit me. Like, he literally took a swing at me. He took a swing at me. I rolled, it slipped and missed, and I grabbed him. When I grabbed him in a clinch. I pulled his head down, grabbed his arm, pulled his head down, and I pushed him backwards to where he stumbled back into the kitchen, right? At this point, when he goes back into the kitchen, when he stumbles back into the kitchen, now I'm pissed. You know what I mean? You just swung at me. I'm pissed. I'm like, dude, get the out of my house. I'm telling him to leave, asking him to leave my house. Get out of my house. He won't leave, and he starts towards me again. At this point, my kid's mom, she's in the living room, and she comes in, is like, what are y'all doing? She gets in between us. When she gets in between us, she puts her back to him and turns and pushes me. I'm assuming that was the time where he thought was his best chance to swing again, and he swings at me again. Only this time, he punches my kid's mom in the head. Like, full-blown bop right upside the head. She goes down, and I'm like, yo, what the f? So, my reaction, just jab. I threw a jab. I jabbed him one time in the face, right? When I jabbed him, his eyes rolled, he stumbled back, and this girl caught him. And he stands up, he kind of gets his legs and his bearing back, and then he's like, oh yeah, you're some he's like, you're some I should shoot your motherfucker. He starts literally threatening me with a gun.
Merab says that he has no regrets in regards to the altercation in the crowd at UFC 310. Merab adds that if Umar Nurmagomedov does not apologize to him, he will slap him after they fight at UFC 311. Speaking to Ariel Helwani, Merab said, I was walking back with Aljamain Sterling, and some guy grabbed my shoulder, and then he had a phone and he was filming video. He was disrespecting me in the Russian language. My Russian is not good. I don't really speak Russian, but I know the bad words. He was cursing at me, cursing my family. Security was there. I really wanted to punch his face, but security also realized that he was cursing at me. Security could tell this guy was talking trash, and security held me. It was so hard. I'm a man. I'm a fighter. I live in a respectful way, and some stupid disrespects me, of course I will fight. So I wasn't able to get close to this guy because of security, but my friend got my back and he slapped this motherfucker. Even Umar is sharing pictures. He was proud of this provocative guy. Umar was proud. He was supporting some provocative fan who tried to provoke me. This also shows that Umar is not a good guy. If any of my friends or anybody I know tried to provoke Umar or tried to fight Umar, I would never support this. I will tell my friend or whoever it's none of your business. You should not mess with professional fighters. But Umar was supporting this guy. I'm a man first. If you come to my face and disrespect me, you're going to get slapped. Don't try that. I'm a man and I will never forgive you. Even if I have to go to jail, I don't care. I don't care that I have so much to lose. I don't care about this belt. I don't care about this money. I don't care about this legacy. I'm a man. I live in a respectful way. On Umar, he continued, now that I realize he's really a piece of shit, I'll move on. Because I don't want trouble with the UFC. I don't want to beat Umar before the fight because he will make an excuse and he might cancel this fight. I'm a company man and I will not do anything bad, anything that will affect fights. I'm going to ignore these losers. Umar is a good fighter, but he's not a good man. That's my problem. We'll see after. He may get a slap after the fight because the fight in the octagon is not a real fight. It's a sport. If Umar does not apologize to me, it's going to happen. Even if I have to go to Dagestan, I will go. I love Dagestan. I have so many friends in Dagestan, and I respect Dagestani people. They are good people. But Umar made a big mistake with me, and Umar has to pay for this. I don't want to fix this problem before the fight, but after the fight, I'm going to find him. Nate Diaz has been charged with battery over this altercation he got into with a bouncer at a nightclub this past August.
Oh, he's about to fight. He's about to fight the bouncer. He's about to fight the bouncer. He's about to fight the bouncer. Hey, back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up. Oh my God. I hit the Nate, chill, bro. Chill, Nate.
According to TMZ, cops say in the docs that witnesses told them that Diaz and his crew were holding up the cashier line, and when a security guard came to try to see if there was an issue, Diaz got physical with him. The documents state that Nate pushed him, and after he shoved back, Nate hit him in the face with an open right hand. Michael Bisping gives his reaction to Anthony Smith's loss to Dominick Reyes last weekend. Bisping says that if Smith continues to fight, he's going to call him and have a conversation with him about fighting for the right reasons.
You got to be respectful of the sport as well. I'm sitting there dealing with serious neck issues. I've got 2 knee replacements. I've already had multiple neck surgeries before. I've got 1 eye, for crying out loud. I can't breathe through my nose, which was rebuilt because of ribs. They took some of my ribs and rebuilt my nose. And, you know, I always make jokes about CTE. Fortunately, I'm fine in that regard. But there's the scars, the breakages, the replacements, the eyes that I've lost. This isn't a sport that you play, you know what I mean? And that's why people say he needs to retire. That's why this Dana says Chris Weidman and Clay Guida need to retire, because the more times you step in there, and certainly as you get older and you start getting a bit more frail and you don't recover quite as well, that will stay with you. So if he is going to do it, I would, if he fights, I'm going to give him a call. Hopefully he picks up and just say, dude, if you do this, do it for the right reasons. And train as if you're training for a world title fight, as if you're going up against John Jones, you know, for the greatest of all time, for the BMF or whatever it is. You've got to leave no stone unturned. Otherwise, if you're not willing to do that, then don't even think about it in the first place.
Matt Brown doesn't blame Merab for getting into an altercation in the crowd at UFC 310. Matt says if he were touched, he's also throwing hands. On The Fighter vs. the Writer, Matt said, I still say these fans, keep to your fucking self, bro. You don't with professional fighters. Most of us are martial artists that are respectful and stuff, but we're also human beings and will rip your fucking throat out. Don't with us. It's stupid. You can't grab a professional. Someone touches me, I'm fucking them up. When I fought Damian Maia in Brazil, one fan grabbed my hat. That was the first one, and then I got punched by 1 or 2 fans after that, and then one of them, I punched them back, and I probably knocked them out. They pulled me away so fast I don't know what happened. but I landed a clean shot on him and finished my way to the cage. On the way out to the cage, I socked him right in the f***ing face. I remember Dana White changed things after that. I don't know what exactly the changes were, but basically talking about separating the fans a little bit more, particularly in Brazil. Maybe having a little bit better security when guys are walking out. I was right there in touching range, and they were hitting me and pulling my hat off. I'm not just going to sit here and take this. Plus, I'm completely fired up, ready to walk into a fight. You get hit, it's a natural reaction. You hit someone back. There's nothing more to say about it. You touch me, I'm f***ing you up. I'm sure every other fighter feels the exact same way. We should be able to handle people saying shit, but I totally understand that too. I get sick of hearing people say shit. At some point, it's like, do I have to show you that I can f*** you up? Because I will. A lot of these fans, they push the line all the way. When you're flipping a guy off, you deserve to get your ass kicked. The only reason we don't is because of security or repercussions. Not because you don't deserve it. It's because of repercussions. That's the only reason. Dustin Poirier appears to be interested in welcoming Ilia Topuria to the lightweight division. Yesterday, Ilia said he wanted Charles Oliveira to be his first fight upon moving up. Dustin reposted this on X. It says, "Hear me out. If Ilia wants to move up to lightweight, do Ilia Topuria versus Dustin Poirier." Ariel Helwani, Jake Shields, and Belal Muhammad are going at it on social media today. This all started with Bilal's appearance on Jake Shields' podcast this week and had this to say about Ariel.
Yeah. Are you an Ariel Helwani cool or
no? No.
He probably don't like you because your heritage.
100%. And then I'll say that from the beginning because I was like, he's never invited me on his podcast.
He's never invited you on.
He's never invited me on. And even when I beat Leon, it was like he didn't mention yeah, Belal did a good job. He won. It was like you didn't give it any type of hype. Oh, he doesn't want to come on a podcast probably because of passed on Israel. I'm like, no,
you have tons of Jewish friends. I do too. People think like, oh, you hate Jews, blah blah. Like, no, I hate them killing kids in Palestine with my money.
Exactly.
I have children and it's sickening seeing that.
They put words in your mouth. They think you're this because of this.
They do it deliberately because they want to intimidate and scare people. They have all these organized groups. You know, I'm on the ADL list, the Stop Anti-Semitism, and for what? You know, for not wanting to kill children. They try to intimidate you, try to get me fired. They called they'll call gyms to do seminars out. They call Derek Moneyberg guy I work with, a Jewish guy. And people need to be very clear that it's not, all Jews. And I think there are some people that start thinking, oh man, all these guys, they start seeing this stuff online and stuff, and they start thinking these people are evil. And people need to be very clear not to separate it. That is, there are a lot of good Jews out there too.
100%.
Ariel responded to the clip saying, yeah, that's not true, and you know it, but keep making shit up. Jake responded, so when have you invited him? You calling Belal a liar? Ariel fired back saying yes, with this video.
Yeah. Are you an Ariel Helwani cool or
no? No.
He probably don't like you because your heritage.
100%. And then I'll say that from the beginning because I was like, he's never invited me on his podcast.
He's never invited you on.
He's never invited me on.
Belal, come home. Come on the show. We'll put you over. We'll let the people know. Stop listening to people telling you not to come on the show. Belal. Come on, Belal.
You're always welcome.
You're always welcome home. Come to the #1 show. We'll both swallow some razor blades. Bygones be bygones. Let's show the world. Give peace a chance. We'll come together as one.
Jake responded, you do realize that most fighters don't watch your show, right? Why don't you send him a DM or text message? Imagine if I said in my podcast that I want you on my show and then pretended you turned down the invite. That is exactly what you are doing here. Ariel responded saying, sure, here's me texting his manager in 2016, oldest I can find, about having him on ahead of his fight at UFC 205. Spoiler, he never came on. I've asked publicly and privately. Now piss off. Here are the DMs. Ariel said, can he do 1:25 p.m. ET? Closer to 2:05 for Belal. Deal. The manager responded saying, I'll confirm time. Deal. Ariel said, thanks. Jake didn't respond for a while, so Ariel followed up with this video.
Jake? Jake?
Jake did end up responding. He reposted this video from 2021. He wrote, the reason Ariel Helwani hates me is I posted this video where he is the only person wearing a mask in Florida. Within a minute of me posting it, he ran over begging me to take it down. I told him he's wearing the mask, and if he's so embarrassed, just take it off. Ariel then invited Belal Muhammad to come on his show once again today. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are in reference to the back and forth between Conor McGregor and Demetrius Johnson. The first one says DJ is respected for his martial arts ability in a way that Conor will never be. The second one's from Tyler Pearl 77. It says McGregor must really be hitting that bottle hard, going after the flyweight goat for no reason. And the final one says Conor McGregor should just fade into obscurity. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.